apologize to the OG Mos Def because he was right about Drake.
Like, is Drake hip hop?
Why are you doing this to me?
I know.
Drake is
Because we're here
pop.
for truth. We're here for truth.
Drake is pop to me.
Right, that's fair. In the sense that it's charting like pop music, popular music?
In the sense, like, if I was in Target in Houston and I heard a Drake song, so it feels like a lot of his music is compatible with shopping. Or it's you know,
music,
shopping with an edge in certain instances.
Fair. I like Drake's music, but I understand exactly what you're saying.
Of course, I mean,
It's
get
commercial, entertaining, fun, good, formulaic music.
It's likable.
Likable music, yeah.
So many products. So
many SKUs.
So many SKUs. Look at all these SKUs. Oh, so many products.
So much merchandising, so many barcodes.
I love this mall. Look at this place. I mean, look at this place. They have everything. Everything's here. They have everything here. This is great. This is a new Drake. You hear it? It's great. What happens when this thing collapses? This is the thing that we're talking about. It's like nobody wants to talk about. It's like, what happens when the columns start buckling? Are we not in some early stage of that at this present hour? Are we seeing like the collapse of the empire?
What up, words? Your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep sending those Cashaps to CLBMG. Gang, listen. I know a lot of you were tickled pink. Some of us were laughing because Mos Def compared Drake's music to shopping at Target. It was hilarious. I chuckled to this day. I still chuckle. Almost a year ago, he was on the Cutting Room podcast. It was a new podcast that sprang up. Salute to them for catching a moment, a lightning in a bottle, and putting something out that the culture would be very receptive to. And salute to that queen for pushing that narrative forward because it was one that needed to be pushed forward. She didn't set up Mos Def. She just asked him a question. I don't even know the pretext because I never watched the full podcast, but I just saw the clip where it starts with her saying, "Is Drake hip hop?" I don't know how they got to Drake. I don't know what preceded it, but somehow she asked him, "Is Drake hip hop?" Mos Def quietly thought to himself and was like, "Why are you doing this to me?" Because he knew where this question is loaded. He knew where it was going, and he knew the consequences if he answered it correctly or incorrectly. If he tried to fake the funk, and try to kind of levy his words, which he did still to a degree, but if he tried to kind of pander, then we would be on him, right? But if he was too direct and open and honest, then they would be on him. So he kind of teetered in the middle, but he kept it a buck. And he literally said, it's shopping. He was shopping in Houston, Texas. And basically it sounded like the song came on and it was perfect. He said, this music is shopping music, shopping in Target, chill, relax. It's elevator music. You can put on a lot of Drake songs in Target and it'll be just fine. You can go to Starbucks, get you a latte. I like to get the lemon pound cakes with the icing. You can get you a frap. You can get anything. And the Drake song would not disrupt your Sunday. It will be just fine. Mos Def was speaking. It was not disrespectful. He did go on to say what happens when the pillars collapse. And that's the part that I want to talk about. He talked about, look at all these SKUs, look at all these products, which was funny. He was equating a bunch of because Drake was manufacturing this music like a machine. It was constantly coming out. You always got a new Drake song. And then I literally was befuddled one time on Twitter when these guys were like, where's the music? Drop the music. It literally was, I'm going to be honest, it probably was 6 months. And they were on him about dropping. And he was like, be patient, guys. I think it was before he dropped the For All the Dogs. Before he dropped For All the Dogs, they were going crazy. They were like, drop. Where's the drop? Drop the music. It's like, this guy can't even breathe before they're looking for the next drop. And it might even been the one, but no, I think it was the Certified Lover Boy. When he was teasing that drop, I'm like, it ain't even been that long. This guy's never, like, what are we talking about? It was like mad stuff being dropped with this guy on it. So it wasn't like they were, like, the streets were hungry. I'm like, but they are on this guy to drop because he's always dropping. And that's what Mos Def was talking about. Like, yo, look at all these products. Look at all these SKUs. He makes music for everybody. He got this for the dance hall. He got that for the rap heads. He got this for the slow songs. He got that for the R&B. It's a bunch of SKUs and products, and it's all over the place, and it's a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They gave him $400 million. He's trying to get $6 million. So it's like, this thing is rolling, baby. It's like rolling. Remember they was doing that little dance like chugga, chugga, chugga. This thing is a choo-choo train. And Mos Def was like, it's commercial, and it is commercial. He did not disrespect your boy. I never understood why people got so mad, and Drake got mad. And I believe that somehow Mos Def took Drake on the tour with him. So they're not like enemies or frenemies. Mos Def liked him, but we all liked Drake when he first dropped. I say this all the time. I didn't get the Drake I thought I was getting. I'm just being honest. I didn't get the Pico Aubrey with the part in his hair, the Take Care. I didn't get that before the Take Care, talking about the mixtape. I didn't get that guy, and that's okay. That's okay. He got a lot of money to make. He got a lot of hands in his pocket. A lot of people depending on him, and that's okay. I don't have no problem with him making his money. I'm just going to say, I'm going to be honest, the real hip-hop heads embraced him early because we thought we were getting Pico Aubrey, this Canadian kid that loved the culture. He loved the music, and he was going to be the next level to bridge that gap between the old and the new. We thought this was a pen to paper guy that just really, really wrote really, really heartfelt lyrics. He has something to say, and he had a lot that he wanted to get off his chest. I'm just being honest. I thought I was getting a different Aubrey, right? But it's fine. It's fine. We got this Aubrey, super commercialized, biggest artist in the world. You can't be the biggest artist in the world if you're not commercial. It is what it is, gang. I'm sorry to tell you. So Mos Def was probably one of the people who saw the same thing in the beginning, and he saw it shift into this machine. Now, we can blame him. We can blame Wayne. We can blame Birdman. We can blame UMG. We can blame anybody, but at the end of the day, he's exactly where he wants to be. He doesn't seem like he's not happy with his success. Let's just be honest. But I do see hints of him wishing he was plugged in with that lyrical miracle list of people that are named when you start talking about top five. Right? I'm just gonna be honest. He wants to be on that list that you create. And I'm not talking about the fake Billboard list. They're making lists for trolls. They're trolling you. Rolling Stones, top 20 of all time, top 25. It's a troll list. They got names on it that don't even make no sense. They don't add up, right? So it's like, why would you make this list? But it's a troll list. We're not talking about the list. We're talking about the barbershop list, right? We're talking about the guys 30, 40 plus, right? Let's be honest. A 20-year-old really can't make a list. I'm going to offend you. If you're 20, your list is going to be a bunch of 20-year-olds. They haven't even made their legacy yet. Their career will probably be washed in 2 years. So we're not listening to a top 20 list. Maybe for fun, we'll say, okay, give me yours, Brandon. What's your list of top 20? What is your top 5, 10 MCs? And we'll entertain that for like 5 minutes. But it's really not a real list. It's going to be goofy. Let's just be honest. Half the names on there haven't even done nothing. They got 1 song, 2 songs. They got an album that they made, and they about to fall off. So somebody in their 30s and 40s and 50, that's a real list because they've heard some stuff. They've been some places. They've done some things. And they've been on road trips listening to these the legendary albums, these legendary artists. They can tell you backwards and forwards a good album. Drake wants to be in your top 20, right? He wants guys like me. I'm just going to keep it a buck. Guys like me to say, KRS-One, Rakim, Nas, Jay-Z, Drake. He wants that spot right there, right? So we see semblances. We see like instances of like, okay, he kind of wants to be respected, so he'll drop his songs where he's spitting for us, da-da-da. But for the most part, it's SKUs, it's products. And that's okay. He got a lot of mouths to feed. Mos Def was pointing out the obvious. He said, what happens when this empire buckles, when these SKUs and products on those shelves are not as valuable anymore? Drake had a real problem with this. I believe he called him a crackhead. In one roundabout way or another, his man got involved. I think it was 40 or somebody started saying, we used to bump you and we used to get embarrassed by bumping you. We said that same thing about Commentator. And they just had a whole problem with this whole thing. And what I don't like about what they do, right? Every time, instead, because Mos Def called Drake. And I get it. He don't got to pick up the phone. He don't got to talk to you. I understand that. But every time someone says something, whether bad or good, they got to lash out and try to destroy the person's legacy. They got to diminish what they've done, right? Drake goes, oh, is this what Mayumi said? Because Mos Def, or if you don't know, he has a song called Mayumi Says, one of the most like prolific, spiritually uplifting hip hop songs. It's like socially conscious to a degree, but it's more of an uplifting song. And he's talking about Mayumi says, shine your light on the world. Shine your light for the world to see. I want my people to be free, right? Drake started poking fun at that, saying, is this what Mayumi says? He's trying to say, you're being negative and you pretend to be positive. Is this what your grandma, is this what your mama would say, right? So he plucked back, he struck back, and this is my thing, right? Everything don't gotta be you're lashing out, trying to embarrass the person. And I get it. You could say, well, Mos Def was trying to embarrass him. Was he though? Right? He was asked a question. He said it's like shopping in Target. That's funny. That's lighthearted. Now, you may say, well, then him saying Mayumi Says is lighthearted. We can go tit for tat all day. But I feel like Mos Def, honestly, did not want to embarrass Drake. He knew it was funny. He knew it was kind of like tongue-in-cheek. And it could be misconstrued. But he was being real. He's like, yo, this is commercial. It's pop music. Drake is pop. He's not hip-hop. And I got into a couple conversations. This was before the Kenny battle and all that. We got the other podcasts, and a lot of them were saying, you gotta accept it. You can call him pop all you want, but he's hip-hop. A lot of people, they argue with me. They're like, yo, he's hip-hop. Give it to him. But I'm like this. Okay, hip-hop is a lot of things, and hip-hop can be pop too, right? Hip-hop, there's a lot of popular music that is hip-hop. That is a fact. A lot of hip-hop has transcended over to being pop, all right? But let me say this, settle this for once and for all. If you consistently only make music to be popular, I don't think that's hip-hop anymore, right? Let me give you some examples. Pitbull raps, but he makes music to only chart, to only be popular, to only be danceable, to only be big records. That ain't hip-hop. I'm sorry. Right? Flow Rider, big records. I want to make money, big giant songs and at stadium. That's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But at some point, you're not being hip-hop no more. You're being pop. I'm just going to be honest. This is pop music that, in a lot of instances, Drake is making. There's nothing wrong with that, but let's call it what it is. Mos Def said it's pop. We've seen pop go down, right? Or stay up. It is what it is, but it's pop. Black Eyed Peas, that's pop music. No one's going around putting Black Eyed Peas in top hip-hop groups of all time. I'm just going to be honest. will.i.am could spit, right? The other two guys could spit. I don't know what Fergie's doing, but she's doing her job too. They make good records. But when somebody say, throw on hip-hop, if you're like, Siri, put on some hip-hop, there's not going to be that. It's not going to be Black Eyed Peas. I'm sorry. So Drake is right there with Flow Rider, Pitbull, Black Eyed Peas. He's a better rapper. Just be honest, no disrespect to them guys, but Drake is a better rapper than them. But he makes the music that they make. They want to move millions of units. They want to be viable in the parties, and they want to be very, very big in the industry. And there's nothing wrong with that, but stop calling it hip hop. And that's what Mos Def was saying. And a lot of people took to Twitter, and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. People were divided and people were mad. They started trying to clown Mos Def, and people like me were defending Mos Def. And once again, we're divided in hip hop. But at the end of the day, let's not call Drake hip hop. I'm just going to be honest. He can do hip hop. He does some hip hop stuff, but he's not going to be on that list that I keep telling you about where all the barbershops start talking about rappers. Yeah, you want to have that one or two Drake fan in there. You got to throw Drake in there, homeboy. Like, no. When we start talking about rappers that put pen to paper, it's going to be an issue. His music doesn't resonate to the people we're talking about. It's just a fact. He gonna have songs here and there, but if you say put on a hip hop album, that Drake joint, you're gonna have to skip 3 or 4 joints just to get to the next hip hop song. It is what it is. So Mos Def was right. He predicted the collapse, and now we got Drake. What's Drake doing right now? He said 2025 there's going to be a shift. He just said this like yesterday. There's going to be a shift. When I drop this album with Party Next Door, this is actually the album I'm the most proud of this album because I've been trying to do an album like this forever, and now I get a chance to do it. Guess what the album is? It's a dancehall, R&B mixed type of album. It ain't hip hop. So he's banking on a dancehall-ish, R&B-ish, ballad-laced, singing type of album to bring him back into the mainstream where he belongs. Everything that matters to him is mainstream success, going number one on billboards. Drake knows right now the rap thing, in case you haven't noticed, it ain't going too well. Just going to be honest. If somebody's going to be in my comments, well, Drake is still the number 1 streamed artist in the world. Yeah, all of his old pop R&B stuff is streaming very well. Yes, you are correct. His old pop R&B stuff and the dancehall stuff is streaming extremely well. And some of the rap stuff. But he's agreed to put everything on an album with Party Next Door that's going to be extremely commercial, extremely formulaic, and he's putting it on. It ain't just me, it's me and Party. Which, this is like mad out of nowhere, but that's what he's putting all his eggs in the basket of a Party Next Door album. So now we are moving even further away from hip hop when he needs it the most to prove that who he is as a spitter. We're moving even further away. So now we're going to get yet another pop, R&B, ballad-laced album with him singing all over it. And Mos Def was right. What happens when the columns buckle, right? And all the SKUs are up there, but nobody's buying. Not in hip-hop. So Mos Def, I'm going to do it for them. I'm going to apologize for them, right? You know, for they know not what they do, right? Apologies to Mos Def for the disrespect he had to deal with when he was just kicking the truth. He's told you what it was. He said the thing was starting to collapse. It's all the way down now. This dude got a whole lawsuit against his record label. He's going on and on about they defame my character. It's a whole meltdown. The empire has crumbled, gang. I'm just going to be honest. No, he's not broke. He's not going to ever be broke. But the empire ain't not what it was a year ago. Okay? So let's give Mos Def his credit. He predicted it. And hip-hop got a way of correcting things, right? It's just like the earth. The earth like this, supposedly mankind was destroyed 5 times already. Possibly 6. And we somehow are here now. But the earth is going to correct it. The earth is not worried about global warming. You are. Because the earth is going to be here after everything, once everything burn up and everybody's dead and all the trees are gone, the earth is going to cool down and settle itself and it's going to be fine. The earth is not going nowhere. So hip-hop is not going nowhere. It just settled itself. All that noise y'all was doing, it just calmed itself down. It watched Drake go up, come down. And now here we are. So Mos Def, I am sorry for them. I apologize for them. And you were right. Give that man his flowers. And let me know what you think in the comments. I'm gonna catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.